Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, good evening, hello, and welcome to this very special Christmas message from yours truly, Black Shadow, proprietor, of course, of BSC for just a shade over 3 years now, which is getting scarier and scarier every time I say that. I hope you guys have enjoyed your Christmas periods. It's been alright for me. Unfortunately, folks, due to reasons beyond my control, basically most of the family aren't in the city at the moment. So whilst I've been with my dad for this afternoon, our fake Christmas, if you will, is probably not going to happen until about Saturday or Sunday, when the family actually does get back from the Isle of Wight, because sister's partner's got family over there, and they have to alternate between years of one. They go for Christmas for one, New Year's for the other, and then they turn it around the next year. So it's just one of those things, unfortunately. But no, it's been pretty good. It's been nice to spend some time just sort of doing my own thing, really, which has been good. Obviously, as well, with the start of the San Andreas LP, which has been fantastic, folks. Really proud of that. Started really well. And obviously started that whilst bringing the Dark Chronicle LP, of course, is due to come to a close. Just so you guys know, for those of you that are watching along and waiting to see the bonus levels for that, I will be bringing into that LP, and I'll be recording and uploading the rest of that LP between now and New Year's, basically. The few days between, about sort of 4 or 5 days, I'll be uploading the rest of the LP, folks. So that'll be good. I haven't actually recorded it yet, though, so I'll be getting on with that tomorrow. But yes, so I had been mentioning, of course, that we will be doing this update video. There's plenty to sort out for the new year, folks. Whilst obviously it's a time of enjoyment and whatever else, it's a good place, I suppose, someone to reflect, past, present, and future. And begin looking forwards to what I think will be a pretty good year, actually, in 2015, personally speaking. It should be pretty good. Hopefully as well for the channel as well, actually. We're coming to just coming up to the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is fantastic. Nearing almost about, I think we're about sort of 275,000 views, something like that, which is really awesome, folks. Really proud of that. Basically, folks, the purpose of this video is there's a lot of options as to what we can do for the new year, as I'm sure some of you can probably guess and realise. And this matter has only got on expanded further now that we're actually getting quite close to being able to do HD recording. Now that I have the HD TV and wherever else, I just have to get hold of the recorder. I don't quite know exactly when that's going to be. I can't give you an exact date. I'm sort of hoping early springish. I'm hoping, but I'm really not sure at the moment. It depends when the situation comes that I can do that. I will be doing it as soon as I can, but I can't give you a precise date at the moment, unfortunately. The first LP we will be doing, actually, HD-wise, as I have said, is going to be Resident Evil 4. Because I think if there's any game I'm going to give the honour of being the first HD game for me to do, I think that's as good as any. And it'll be really, really good to do that game in HD. I was hoping to do Code Veronica for the HD remake, unfortunately, but time kind of ran out, so I kind of had to do the PS2 version, unfortunately. Sorry, I'm just biting something. Sorry about that. Where do we start then, folks, for the new year? Well, obviously there's some series that we're already doing that we'll carry on with, mainly Resident Evil and Grand Theft Auto. Obviously Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Revelation series, Resident Evil 6. I haven't even played Resident Evil 6 yet, folks, as shocking as that sounds. Still not played it. I will do eventually. I'll get around to it. Grand Theft Auto, of course, after San Andreas, and whenever we finish that, probably be again that early springish sort of time. We'll be eventually moving on to Grand Theft Auto 4, and then Grand Theft Auto 5 as well, and whatever on earth's may turn up from there on. We've got all that to do. But there's also other series as well that I still haven't made a start on yet. Some people have been asking for, and it will happen. Metal Gear Solid series, which I think that'll be really, really good, actually. I think that'll be a really good series. I've also said as well my personal desire that I want to do the Parasite Eve series. which again I think there'll be a lot of fun doing that blind. It's a game series I've always wanted to do, so that'll be good. And of course, there's other games as well that'll be due as well. In particular, RPGs, which I will touch upon in a moment, actually, because that's something we do need to discuss. We have got, we're nearly actually, the channel itself actually is very close to almost hit 1,000 subscribers. I think is really good. It's a nice little milestone to finally hit. And I kind of want to do a couple of LPs, something to sort of celebrate that. Now I had, a couple people had asked me, because obviously you look at the LPs that we have done over the year. You know, we've done some of the bigger titles, in a way, but this year there's been a lot of sort of the smaller, lesser known titles than say last year, folks. We had a lot of really big, well-known titles, folks. I think over the course of that year. I've been really pleasantly surprised. You know, games like Hogs of War was quite well received. X-Files, for the shortest LP I've ever done, folks, that was really, really well received. For those guys that watched it, it was a lot of fun, and I actually quite enjoyed making it myself. Actually, sitting down over a couple of days and doing that LP, that was a lot of fun. The Getaway as well. Really, really positive feedback from that. That went down really well, which is really awesome. And of course, we've got the sequel to that, Black Monday, which will be arriving on BS Inc. shores perhaps a bit sooner than one or two of you might realise, but I won't say any more about that. We have got... what else have we got, folks? Where was I? Yeah, before I completely sidetracked. Yes, a couple of people have been asking me, in relation to Hogs of War, actually, about there is a second playthrough you can do with that game, Mardy Pigs, or Team Lard, whatever you want to call them as. Basically, you know, we've played through the game, we've beaten the game, and what you can now do is you can now take the control of the Team Lard and use them basically to try and recapture the game map, basically in the Arlas wheel, take it back from the control of, in this case, the Pommies. You know, basically the game's a lot harder. All the enemies you take on have got an extra rank, so you never take on a grunt ever. You know, you start facing heroes and legends much sooner than you're supposed to. So I think that could be quite challenging, but it's one I'm so happy to take on, and I'm happy to do that for when we hit 1,000. So that'll probably be in the not too distant future, mind you, well in excess of 900 at this point. We've got that, and as well as any other LPs, maybe it's like maybe a past LP that we've done. People like to maybe see really like one of my early ones, maybe they'd like to see done again or whatever else. No, I'm happy. I'm always open to suggestions. You know, that's one of the things that'd be nice to do. One of the things that do need to talk about though, and I honestly could do some feedback on actually, is RPGs. Now, what I usually do is I try to alternate between Final Fantasy LPs and non-Final Fantasy LPs, because you know a lot of my experience in the RPG genre, personally, is Final Fantasy games. I've played a lot of them. I've not really touched too much outside of it. That's just how it is. That's just one of those things. While the audio has decided to stop. That's interesting. Hold on 2 seconds. There we go. What was that about? Darn YouTube! It's not working properly. How dare you prevent Cosmo Canyon from playing? God, I know we haven't been there yet, but those of you that have been there, God, I love Buchenhagen's laugh. Brilliant. Basically, yeah, so RPGs. Thanks for reminding me, YouTube. There's a few that... So basically, seeing as we've done 2 Final Fantasy LPs, namely Grandia 2, Blind, and now Dark Chronicle, which is just coming to an end, I am looking to do a Final Fantasy LP for my next one. As far as non-Final Fantasy ones are concerned, unless something else happens to present itself, I think, ooh, that'd be really good. It will likely be the next one of those I'll do is probably going to be Dark Cloud, which is the prequel to Dark Chronicle. Actually, it'd be a blind LP that as well, mind you. But I think that would be quite cool to do actually. Having done the second game, it'd be interesting personally to see what it was like to play the original one. I know there are some differences certainly. I think it's set in a different game world anyways, to be fair, so that's fine. Although playing that without Monica, ooh, that's a tough ask. Oh, Monica. As far as Final Fantasy LPs are concerned, yeah, there's options. So, Final Fantasy X, I'd suggested. As I said, I do want to do. I think it's one of the greatest. I think it's personally one of my favourite RPGs I've ever played. There is, of course, the remastered version of Final Fantasy X that is out. But unless there's anyone here who's happy for me to borrow their PlayStation 3 for about 3-4 months, I will not be able to do that because unfortunately the remaster is a Sony exclusive. I don't have a PS3. I'm not going to be able to get a PS3 or a PS4. I don't really have the means or resources to really be doing that, folks, unfortunately. So unless someone's got a console they're happy for me to borrow, I'd have to do the PS2 version of that. There is Final Fantasy 12, of course, still lingering around, which I think would be a lot of fun to do, and the mammoth LP that would be. I mean, that is a serious task. There is, what else is there, folks? A couple of people have actually made suggestions. A couple of people have suggested about Final Fantasy 9, which, for those of you that have been around the channel long enough, I actually originally mentioned my interest in doing a way back, folks, actually, but I went and did Final Fantasy 8 instead, and I kind of did that because I kind of wanted to wait and do Final Fantasy 9 when there was a few more subscribers on the channel, which is also the same thing that I've basically been doing for the other suggestion, which is the granddaddy of them all, Final Fantasy 7, basically I did want to do those eventually, but I can't wait to wait until there was some subscribers on the channel. It didn't feel right to do that like first up when there's no one knows the channel exists. Didn't really seem right to me, so I'm open to do those, certainly, and personally I've got no problem doing any of those, to be fair. I mean, they're all really good games, they'd all make really good LPs, for different reasons. I think they've all got their own particular strengths. Some are a bit more highly regarded than others, to be fair, but I think they're all fantastic games. And I'm open to do any of those, really, folks. So I don't know what preferences there may or may not be on this channel. But I mean, any of those 4 I'm looking to do, particularly, obviously we've done 8, we've done 6, Final Fantasy 13 and the games of those, I again will be looking to do, but I need to get the HD up first. Final Fantasy X-2, obviously I wouldn't do that until after doing Final Fantasy X, makes logical sense. And Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 11 was like an online game which I've never touched or something like that. I don't know. You've got me on that one, folks. I have no idea, but I won't be doing that. So that is that. And again, if anyone's got any preferences at all, because I'm not sure how I can decide between those 4. That is a really tough ask, folks. Which again is the point. Is I want to try and get all the feedback and ideas, along with obviously my own ideas and thoughts and whatever else, to get it into all the big melting pots, and see what on earth comes out, and then come New Year's tell you guys, or let you guys know basically what the rough plan is for the new year. Subject to change, of course, as always. What else is there, folks? So that's that. Of course, HD recording itself does introduce its own interesting dynamic to this when this gets set up. Obviously, I've mentioned about Resident Evil and Grand Theft Auto, but there are other series as well that I would love to do. Fallout series, for example, would make obviously a fantastic LP. A lot of people have done like the Fallout series, particularly Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, which are the 2 that I've actually got any experience in playing. A lot of people have done those as LPs, and it would make a good LP. It'd be a lot of fun. As people have said to me, my style of playing and my style of commentary do apparently tend to lend quite well to sort of those free roam games, and I think we'd have a lot of fun actually with Fallout. Something a bit different, certainly, and I think it'd be quite entertaining. That and the amount of basically Roman bashing I could do in New Vegas, folks. I know quite a lot of ancient Roman history. I know probably more about it than a lot of others. It's just I've played a lot of games in it and I've done reading on it basically. So the amount of bashing I do that'd be entertaining. The Left 4 Dead series as well is something I should bring up actually. Of course, a while back I put up a little trailer about Left 4 Dead, particularly Left 4 Dead 2. But unfortunately, folks, and I do admit it, I did have to quietly, I did put those plans on the shelf, folks. I kind of didn't say anything because I didn't want to disappoint people, because it didn't work out, and so the plans got put back onto the back burner. But once I can get the HD recording capabilities in, I can bring those back forward again, and that would be a very, very interesting LP, folks, because obviously it gives me the opportunity, obviously not just do it by myself, but I would be doing my utmost to do it with other people, not just people that I know. You know, I've played the game before in my own circles, but hell, even people on the channel, I've got no problems with that, folks, as long as they're happy to have their name on. They don't have to say anything, but we'll touch upon that later on. Another game is actually that I should mention as well, actually, is a game that not necessarily everyone here has played, but XCOM Enemy Unknown. For these guys know, it is sort of the sort of tactical thing, basically. And I'll give you a little fact, folks, actually. When I was flirting around with the idea of seeing if I couldn't get streaming up and running for the channel, which, again, that has had to be put onto the back burner. I do not know when I'm going to be able to bring that forward. Unfortunately, plans at the moment have been kind of a bit unsuccessful, but I'm hoping if we can get the HD recording, that actually might assist in that, folks, basically. It's been very difficult to work without that. So we'll look at that again come over the course of the year. But interesting fact, folks, was that was actually looking to be the first LP I was going to do streaming, folks, because it's one of those games, you know, like, you know, the decisions you make, you have to live with, and you have to go with them, you know, especially if you play like the Iron Man difficulty. You make a decision, if it's a bad decision and it gets someone killed, you can't reload the game, you've got to deal with it. And that was how I wanted to do the game, folks, basically, was to do that, to you know, to have like obviously our troops that we recruited, and because I've got DLC for it, we can customize the hell out of them, put, you know, any names, or you know, give them armors and color, how the hell you wanted, folks. And I basically, my idea was to kind of have some of you guys basically almost take control of a guy, basically, and see if I can't try and keep him alive as long as I can, though. Considering it'd be a pretty tough difficulty we're doing that on, I can't guarantee. But I thought that would be really good, nice little way, doing something a bit different, which I thought would be really good, folks, actually, personally. And again, that's still something I would look to do. And there's obviously going to be other game series and other games that I may not have even thought of, which people are saying, oh, we should do this. I think, oh, that's pretty good. Not even HD, just anything particular, whether it's PS2 at the moment, or if I go back working off the emulator, I've got no problems with it, folks. There's just so many ideas, and as it stands, it's just I'm having a lot of trouble in narrowing things down. You know, it doesn't even have to be, you know, people saying, well, do this, then that, then that, and that. Just a selection of things to look at during the year, and I can try and work it in. As I said, once San Andreas comes to conclusion, I'll do the Final Fantasy RPG. Once we have HD working, we'll be doing RE4, possibly GA4 after that, possibly something in between, depends kind of on the time span between San Andreas ending, and I kind of want to leave like a few months before we get on with GA4. That's the idea. But other than that, folks, the scope's pretty open. There's a lot of space that has to be filled, and I'm just trying to think of what the best way is to fill it, basically. You know, I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and this is one of the things that I don't know quite how long I might be doing this for. I'm not saying I'm putting up my boots or anything like that. It's just, you know, strange things happen sometimes. Something might happen that I might not be able to do it, or anything else. I don't really know, folks. Funny things happen in life, you know, and obviously, as long as I've still got the ability to, I do look to be doing this for the next time to come. But you don't always know, and for however long it is that I have to do this, which I love doing, I enjoy doing, you know, and I don't get paid for doing either, mind you. You know, I do enjoy it, and for however long that I have got to do this, folks, I want to try and use that time as productively as I physically can, folks. And I don't want to be recording stuff that people don't really want to see, because then obviously you don't want to see it, you won't watch it, you know, and if you aren't going to watch it, then there's no point in me recording it, is there? I'm just sort of wasting the valuable time that I do have, you know, to be able to do what I enjoy. So that's basically how we stand. So I'm going to leave this video here. I'm going to thank you guys all very much for watching and listening, I should say, to this to this. Please, 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 I beg of you guys, please let me know what you think. You know, and I will be responding to comments, as I always do, to be fair, on my videos. I always try and respond to comments. where possible, folks. And between now and the new year, I will be putting together basically a rough idea of what I want to be doing for the new year, based quite a lot personally on what comments and feedback I get from this video, folks. So if you wanna, if you've got any suggestions, things that you really want to see done for the next year, this is probably as good a chance as you're ever going to get to make sure and try and get it in, folks, because there's a lot of stuff to do, there's a lot of stuff I want to do, and there's a lot of stuff that we can do. And now, over the next few days, will be the case of me trying to decide how I want to organise it all. So this is as good a chance as you guys are ever going to have, so please let me know, ideally in the comments, or if you want to contact me on Twitter. Obviously, my Twitter page is in the description below, and if you're more likely to follow that, that'd be really good. That way, you know, when I do upload a video, it gets uploaded straight onto my feed, courtesy of YouTube. Does it automatically, so you can be the first person, perhaps, to watch that video, among the first people to watch it. And other bits and pieces that I do message across as well from Twitter. Or the comments say below, or even if you do want to get me in other ways, I'm trying to keep more of a close eye on my inbox on YouTube, folks, but I don't get notifications for messages for some reason. I don't know why. I can't seem to get them to work, so I kind of click on them every now and again. But please do let me know of your thoughts and wishes and desires. And in a week's time, we will be sitting down again, and I will be presenting you Black Shadow Incorporated for 2015. So I will thank you guys very much for watching and listening. Hope you guys enjoy the next few days. You know, and enjoy the rest of the festive period. For those of you watching Dark Chronicle, I will see you hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to try and get obviously stuff for that recorded and uploaded and whatever else, and we'll get that LP finished off. But if not, I will see you on New Year's Day, and then from then on, we will be returning to the world of San Andreas, folks. So lots to look forward to. Really looking forward to it myself personally, and it should be a lot of fun. So thank you guys very much for spending the past 20 minutes from not eating your turkeys or opening your presents, folks. Your time is, as always, most appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later.